What's up guys, Jay here, and today we have a bit of a different type of video than what we normally have. Earlier this week, Ghost Ship Games revealed 3 different teaser trailers for the upcoming Season 4 of Deep Rock Galactic. These teasers were rather vague to say the least, but I thought it would be interesting to go through these trailers and break them down as best I can to see if there's anything we can gather from them, as well as my thoughts on what they may mean in terms of what might be coming in Season 4. Surprise, jump cut! Just wanted to take a minute to make a quick addendum to this video because literally as I am editing this and watching Ghost Ship Games do their live stream, they dropped a 4th teaser trailer. I just want to clarify that real quick because I had recorded this script a few days ago and I don't want there to be any confusion. Seriously, what you're hearing me say right now is recorded just a few minutes after seeing them drop the teaser, after literally having like 90% of this video done and edited. I will talk about the 4th teaser trailer, but I just wanted to let you guys know that at the time that I did the script for everything else, I didn't know what they were going to show today. So if some of the things I brought up while talking about the other teasers are answered in this new one, which spoilers there are, just keep it in mind that past me didn't know what present me was going to see. I hope that makes sense, and now let's get back to past me. Keep in mind that these are just my thoughts and opinions, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say, so be sure to let me know down in the comments what you guys think. So if you guys are ready, let's go through each of these teasers in order to see what kind of secrets we can discover. By the way, if you want to see more gaming videos, subscribe to the channel, that way it's easier to find my content.
Good job. You're making good progress on your assignment.
The first teaser trailer is, like I said, very vague, with nothing really being explicitly shown to us, at least on the surface. This one probably, however, has the most information given, so we're going to be spending most of our time here. The teaser shows us security camera footage from inside the space rig at several angles with seemingly nothing crazy going on. If we look at the first shot, we see a player standing at the barrel kicking game in the Abyss Bar. If you're too focused on the person playing like I was, you probably aren't going to notice that there is an entire new section of the platform that extends to the left of the Abyss Bar. This section of the platform is not currently in the game, so we can safely assume that this will lead somewhere. But where exactly? Well, this is hard to say, as it could really be anything. One idea that I had is maybe the devs are finally adding in some kind of shooting range for us, and this platform may lead us there. Players have been wanting this feature for some time now so that they have a place to test out their builds and setups without having to commit to a mission. Another theory is that maybe this leads to where the new arcade machine is, which we'll talk about that in a minute. Or it could just be an extension to the Abyss Bar with nothing really there. It's hard to say for sure, but it has to be something substantial for them to purposely show it in a shot like that. Moving to the next shot, we actually have more information shown here, although it's very difficult to see. First, I know some people were confused as to what this weapon is here on the bench, and some thought it might be some kind of new primary weapon, but I think it's still just the mil-spec autocannon just at a weird angle. What should be brought to attention is the mission selection terminal in the background. If you look closely, you can see it looks a little bit different from what we have now in Season 3. If you look at the mission selection terminal now, you can see several small lithophage meteor fragments heading towards Hoxus. However, with this shot, we don't see too many small meteors, but what we see instead is a seemingly very large object sticking out of the planet. It's hard to tell exactly what it is, but it could very well be either the primary lithophage meteor itself or a very large piece that has impacted Hoxus. So the question then is, what could this mean in terms of additional content? Well, this could be a stretch, but the first thing that comes to my mind is a new biome to explore. Think about it for a second. We know through dialogue lines that the cause of the lithophage spikes that we have to cleanse on certain missions are caused when an impacted meteor fragment is left alone and the plague hearts inside grow and eventually split open, spreading the rockpox around as we see it in the caves. So then with that knowledge, I propose a question to you. What would happen if a massive meteor were to mature and its plague hearts were able to erupt? The only conclusion that I can draw is that an entire region of Hoxus would be infected with rockpox. This could give us a new, much more dangerous biome that is completely covered. I'm not sure what kind of different features this biome would have exactly, but I imagine it would be similar to how a deep dive works in that you have to purposely go there directly since it would be a lot more dangerous. Like for example, you have all the normal biomes that you can go to up that rotate, but the lithophage zone is always up and is a lot harder, but you get a lot of crazy rewards for it. For some reason, my mind is comparing them to the Dark Zone from The Division if anyone has ever played that, and I'm not sure if that's a fair comparison, it's just where my brain is going for some reason. Anyways, with all that said, let's look at the last shot of this teaser, which is honestly the most straightforward, showing us a top-down view of a player using what is obviously a new arcade machine and rather enjoying himself. This simply tells us that we're getting a new recreational thing to do on the space rig in between missions similar to the barrel kicking and the Abyss Bar. The only confusing thing is where this shot is taking place. It's kind of hard to tell, but if I had to take a guess, I would say it's somewhere near the drop pod because of these striped lines close to the bottom. However, it could also be where that new extended platform is near the Abyss Bar. Either way, it's clear that we're getting some kind of new leisure tool to enjoy in the space rig.
Impeccable work.
The second teaser gives us a lot less direct information but a lot more implications. The trailer begins with a panning camera shot revealing a player standing in front of what appears to be some kind of box or crate that is emitting red lights and an ominous beeping noise. The player eventually opens the crate, but the screen cuts to black before we see what's inside. The camera then fades back, showing us the lid to the crate in the distance and two cylindrical objects sticking out of the crate before fading to black once again. So breaking down this teaser, my mind goes to a few different places. The first place is the idea of this being a new mission type and this box being part of the overall objective. We haven't had a complete new mission type added in the game since industrial sabotage missions were introduced in Season 1, so it stands to reason that we're due for a new one. Now, what could this new mission type be composed of? Well, we can actually get a decent idea if we look at the roadmap that came out back in March. If we look at the section that says New Enemies, we can see the line that says, "We've had disturbing reports of previously unseen fauna down in the caves of Hoxus. There has been no visual confirmation yet, but whatever it is, it's hostile and aggressive." Now that sounds to me like new, more dangerous creatures that we need to fight. Perhaps we can finally get the Glyphid Queen enemy that we've been hoping for a long time. Perhaps the object in the crates could be explosives or weapons that we need in order to fight whatever is down in the caves. Another idea that came to mind is this being a new kind of random event or machine event that can appear as well. We haven't really seen much change in the machine events in a while, so it makes sense to throw some new one into the system. Either way, these definitely seem to be some sort of mission objective device that will hopefully accompany some kind of interesting mission type.
Time to earn your paycheck, team. Got a doozy of a swarm underway.
The third teaser is really simple and pretty easy to dissect. This teaser is just one shot of the Abyss Bar with a huge box in the middle of the dance floor, and you can hear some muffled retro-style arcade music playing in the background. Obviously, this is the box that contains the arcade machine we saw in the first teaser, which could also indicate that the arcade machine may be located somewhere in the Abyss Bar. We also get a much better view of the additional platform that we saw in the first teaser as well. This is by far the simplest and most straightforward teaser and really just gives us more confirmation on the arcade machine.
I'm having the best time in my life right now.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the fourth and final teaser trailer that was released yesterday during GSG's livestream. First, I gotta say that this teaser answered some of the questions I had in the first three. The trailer starts off with a black screen and you can hear a skittering noise in the background. We then hear a very terrifying roar that doesn't sound like anything we have heard in the game so far, accompanied by a violent screen shake before cutting to black. We then hear a click sound and the camera cuts back to show us what looks like more security camera footage of a brand new and terrifying enemy. We see it roar and then run into the darkness before cutting back to black, only to cut right back to a shot of one of the doors being attacked by this thing, which shoots out its tail like a claw to grab the player before hard cutting to the end of the trailer. Okay, so a few things to say right off the bat is that this thing is awesome but also terrifying. It looks like some kind of hybrid between a dreadnought and a scorpion, and it seems to have something similar to a cave leech as its tail. In any event, this thing looks insanely intimidating, and I'm sure it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. I don't know about you guys, but the cave leeches have always been something that have made me feel uncomfortable. They look really creepy and I don't like how meaty they look, if that makes any sense. So taking a minute to relax and process that now we have an enemy with a grabber tail, we can start to think about the wider implications of what this actually means. The first question that we need to know the answer to is, what is the context that we'll be fighting this creature? Is it a new variation of Dreadnought that we might be able to find in elimination missions? Or are they linked to the crate from the second teaser and connected to a specific mission type? Or could they even potentially just be a new kind of random enemy that could appear in any mission? Either way, it's not going to change the fact that I am literally going to scream like a girl every time one of these things grabs me. Also, a question that I had while watching it is if this enemy fights in a particular way. In the teaser, we see it attacking by extending its tail from over a ledge. Could this tell us that maybe this is some kind of ambush predator? Maybe it hides around corners or ledges and then snatches you up when you try to walk by. I mean, that would explain why it runs away the first time we are shown it. Also, does it just snatch you up and run away? Does it try to kill you? Or does it do something else? We still don't know exactly what this thing does, only that it is terrifying. In any event, I think that the fact that we're getting a new, more dangerous enemy added to the game is awesome and refreshing to see.
Your workforce is about to get bigger. Dwarf inbound.
So with these teasers talked about, let's go over what we know for sure and what we can gather from context. First, we know for a fact that we're getting an arcade machine in the space rig, so that's a W. Second, we know that we're getting some kind of new area in the space rig, although we don't know exactly what that area will be. It could be a shooting range, hopefully, or some kind of recreation area, or we may be completely blindsided and it's just an extension of the platform. It has to be something though. I mean, there's no way they would show that without some kind of context, right? Now, in terms of information that we need to gather a little bit, this is where we have more speculation than explanation. First, I really like the idea of a new biome added to the game, as it would help add some new variety to the game. We all know how cumbersome and annoying the lithophage spikes make traversing the terrain, but they definitely add another layer of depth to the mission completion process. So imagine how difficult and interesting it would be to walk in an entire biome made of this stuff. Second, I really like the idea of a new mission type being added into the mix. Industrial sabotage missions are currently my favorite type of mission in the game, so I can only imagine what this new type could be. Finally, I want to bring up something that wasn't even shown or even mentioned, and that's what could potentially be added in terms of class equipment. In Season 1, we got new primary weapons for each class. In Season 2, we got new secondary weapons, and in Season 3, we got new grenade options. So it stands to reason that we'll get some kind of new equipment in Season 4, but the question is, what? It's possible too that they may not be adding new weapons specifically so as to not overwhelm us with redundant weapon options, as each weapon is designed to fill a specific role and not replace already existing weapons. I think something that we might see going into Season 4 would be an update to the perk system. The perks we have in the game are fine and good, but some of them could use a little TLC. Not to mention, it would be good to have more things to spend on the overabundance of extra perk points that I and probably a lot of you have built up. Plus, I think it would just be good to give us some new perks to build, craft, and experiment with. Well, that basically covers all the initial thoughts I have on these very brief but very intriguing teasers and what they may potentially mean for what's coming in Season 4. Remember that everything I talked about today is pure speculation and personal opinion of what I think may be added, or just what I really want to be added. If you guys have any other ideas on what you think is coming in Season 4, or if you think I am completely off and just grasping at straws, which is possible, let me know down below, and let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how hype you are for this upcoming Season 4, because I know I'm at a solid 10. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please be sure to give it a like because it tells me what types of videos you guys want to see. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next Friday for another video.